So what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mordin and I'm back again with another video right here for you. So currently I'm exploring the thoughts of doing a podcast, right? Jigsy, the one I'm going to have the video with today, already told me about doing a podcast about a year ago, but I was like, nope. I was exploring the possibilities, but I think it's time. I had the opportunity to interview Vybz, and that whole conversation felt like a podcast. And it's like, whoa, if it's happening, then let's do it proper. So on this episode, I will introduce Jigsy to you, and he'll be my first official person to have a podcast with on Mordin's channel. So, guys, welcome to the channel. That's Jigsy. He needs no introduction. You guys know him. Jigsy is now more focused on creating content on TikTok. And so you would see him more on TikTok. And maybe with time, if he falls in love with YouTube again and wants to show love to YouTube, he might come back to show love to YouTube. Jigsy, is that going to happen anytime soon?
I can't, to be honest, I am not 100% sure. For right now, I'm going to say no for now.
Okay.
I was just going to say no for now.
Okay. So guys, he's not gonna come to YouTube. Yeah, he's done with us forever and ever. You just say amen, right? So,
I should say, Mordin.
Yeah.
I should say, what I will do I may not do the long form anymore, but I will post what I did on TikTok on my shorts. So my shorts still active, but the long form isn't. Yeah.
Okay. Then it's the same. It's primarily the same. So he's on YouTube, just not the long form. And the short form is good. I mean, see, you can see I'm trying to edit a video on my phone. I love it. Now, the whole time I was filming in Ghana, I was filming with my phone. I didn't do anything with any other thing. I don't use my camera anymore. It's like, I don't even know where it is. You can see right here in the background is the gimbal somewhere here. Yeah, I don't use my camera anymore. I gave it out to a friend to do something and that's it. I just don't use it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And I enjoy the phone bit. Jigsy, tell me something. 2025. We just started the year out. January is almost coming to an end. So far, how long have you been on the TikTok journey? And how is it panning out so far for you?
So I originally came back. Now, I should say this. I know people might see some recent, well, I can't say recent, but people might see on my YouTube channel some videos of last year that was uploaded. A lot of that stuff was re-uploads. This was me trying to figure if I really want to come back, if I was feeling it at the same time. And I was like, I was in between minds coming back and not coming back. And I think I've spoken to you before telling you that I'm looking to come back. And then I told you I ain't coming back. And then, the back and forth thing I was doing. And then for some reason, I said, you know what, let me go on TikTok. And I did this in September. I did it on September, but I was doing something different. I was more testing the political side of things on TikTok when it comes to Canada, because there's a lot going on. And then I decided, you know what, maybe I should go back and do Jigs illustration on TikTok. So I would say I technically did come back on TikTok with Jigs illustration in November of last year. And so far, it's doing surprisingly good, I would say. Doing surprisingly good. Did I expect it? Not really. I didn't even know what to expect, how it would be received, if people would actually remember who I am or anything like that. So far, so good.
Okay. And I mean, we spoke shortly because you're also trying to help me out with my TikTok. Guys, I'm very green on TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok, guys. So I've always been the type who just wants to stick to one platform,
Yeah.
And I think I understand YouTube to a degree. You understand? So having to go back and forth with some other channels, even on YouTube, I have two channels. One is for my farming thing, and then the other is this one right here, right?
Yeah.
And can you imagine, for about 2 weeks now, maybe 3 weeks now, I've been uploading constantly on, maybe it's almost 4 weeks, let me say, constantly on YouTube, on this channel, but I haven't done anything on the other channel.
But because you're so occupied on
I
the
don't know.
others,
It's like when I'm focused on one, I like to just be there. And that is the
yeah,
problem. So I'm not able to go back and forth. And in recent days, when I'm uploading more videos on TikTok, it
yeah,
affects what I upload on YouTube. So I'm trying to find a balance now to go like, okay, maybe perhaps I do 5 videos in a week if I have the time for
yeah,
YouTube, and that 5 videos could all come in one day. If I'm
yeah,
free, let's say in a day, and I have 5 topics to discuss, once I film everything, I put everything out one time, and then I just let go.
yeah.
And then when I have time, I'll do it. But those same videos, the good thing is that those same videos, I can just chop them up and put them on TikTok. So
Yes.
currently, I don't think I'm being authentic to TikTok because I don't create something that is directly tailored toward TikTok. It's just what I have
So,
on YouTube that I'm carving out for that. Yeah.
so what I will tell you, keep doing the TikTok. You see how I kind of like, not I wouldn't say force your hand to pay attention to TikTok because the thing that I did trying
Yeah.
to send people the direction. What I did notice, Mordin, so when I told you last year that I was in between coming back and stuff, I wasn't even moving the needle that much on people checking the channel. So when I came on TikTok, and I don't know if you have done this yet, there's a part where you can connect your link of your YouTube to your TikTok.
Yes, I've done that. I've done that.
You've done
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So what has happened now, my YouTube is moving again because because what I'm doing on TikTok in terms of, so I was taking snippets of my old reactions and I got so much. And then I was doing the typical TikTok thing that I'm doing with the editing and, like syncing songs.
Yeah.
It has sent what you call it, numbers? No, it has sent audience.
Okay.
Audience have gone to my YouTube to look at what I've done. And when I look at YouTube Studios, I realize that my channel is up. The arrow is green.
Oh.
And the subscribers are adding to it. Sadly, I just said that I am not really on YouTube anymore. But the traffic now on my TikTok has aimed towards my YouTube. So my TikTok is helping my YouTube. So don't feel any way don't think about it as you don't feel authentic posting stuff on TikTok. What you're doing is that people that are on TikTok, and I realize this, a lot of people that are on TikTok are not watching YouTube. You got to bring the YouTube, is more like you have to bring your YouTube audience to your TikTok and not the TikTok to your YouTube.
Okay.
Right? So what I found is that your TikTok viewers will just automatically go to your YouTube and not the other way around. You have to like encourage your YouTube to go towards your TikTok.
Okay.
So if you snip it up and you post, like how you're posting right now, and I would say like you could probably say in the video, but then it's already pre-recorded. But if you want to somehow say something to make it, to tell people like, this is, or you can even write it in your caption, like, YouTube, my YouTube edits or YouTube snippet or something like that. So people know this is all for YouTube. So when they go there, you can see or short version and they can go and watch your own version on your YouTube. So you got to find a way to engineer that audience to go to your YouTube.
Okay. Talking about it, the podcast bit, right?
Yeah.
When you told me to try my hands at podcasting, one other guy who is also a content creator, Gama Sajin. The name is Gama Sajin. It's a Ghanaian language, so I'm not sure you would even get it. So Ga is basically the tribe that resides in Accra, the capital. That's the tribe. And then Gama Sajin means the issues surrounding Ga people, or the Gas, so to say, right?
Yeah.
And he also does reactions and stuff to Shatta, Wale, and he got in touch with me and said, hey, you should do a podcast. Let's do something together. Right. He also hit me up. He was even trying to get us to set up maybe a different channel to like get a podcast, a proper podcast going, where we will talk and put it on that channel and stuff. And we even came up with a name. I think Social Box. Box with the logo and everything. But for some weird reason, we couldn't just make time to like sit together to do that. So hey, bro, if you're watching, we can start something still. I'm still for it, so I don't mind. Jigsy, Sitting right here from where I am, to get information from Ghana is through the internet.
Yeah.
So I consume whatever the media gives me, and I also follow other people I think will give me quality content to consume.
Yeah.
The same thing I believe applies to you. If you want to get feedback from Barbados, you have to also connect the same way.
Yeah.
Now, when you look from the lens where you sit right now, with the recent performance of Shatta Wale at the Freedom Street concert, first question will be, how does the Caribbean in its entirety see that concert and the release of Vybz Kartel?
So when it comes to the Vybz Cartel, a lot of people are look, when it comes to Vybz Cartel, I think if I go back in, because I try to give people a little bit more idea. If you're aware of the Movado and Vybz Cartel feud that they had before Vybz went to prison and stuff like that.
I got some education today from Bass Beats.
Yeah, that was like one of the biggest rivals of all time in terms of dancehall. Obviously, in the 90s, people would say it would be Bounty Killer and Beanie Man. That was the biggest rivals back in the 90s. But the difference between those two, and I'm just giving people a little idea, difference between the Bounty Killer and Beanie Man versus Vybz Cartel and Movado is that it took on the Caribbean, as in people start taking sides. Like Vybz Cartel is Gaza, right? And what happened is that you have people siding with Movado side and people siding with
Vybz Cartel
side in the Caribbean. And it doesn't matter. You could be in Barbados, you could be where else. It was so influential that you have people in different Caribbean islands taking sides. I have never seen that happen before.
Okay.
So when it happened, Vybz Cartel obviously became like the supreme one. Even though Movado is like up there, but he's more of the singer type. The vocal ability is way better than Kartel, but lyrical, oh man, the spot was nice, and they were constantly dropping songs every day. They songs every single day, and it was tremendous. So that's how huge it was. It was every day, 2 songs, 3 songs, every single day something dropped. So everybody was involved in the Caribbean in this feud. So when Vybz Cartel were in the prison and now that he's out, people are more tuned in because we already had Vybz Cartel as the top guy, right? So for us seeing Vybz Cartel, everybody was elated to see that, he's out and everybody's anticipating, because even before he was out, people were like saying, if Vybz Cartel ever get out, man, he better do a concert and it's going to be huge. So people are already anticipating it. So when Vybz Cartel was out, people are already ready for that. As for Shatta Wale, I'm not going to be very honest, from the Caribbean side, I would say I was more glad for the Jamaican side to be received well. For the Caribbean, I am not necessarily sure how other Caribbean islands tuned in, because I figure that not everyone, but some people are in tune, are now getting to know Shatta Wale in the Caribbean. It took me and other people to say, hey, you guys got to check this guy. Because the reason is, and it isn't nothing to do with, Shatta Wale, because I know some people will say this. People who are against, there are people who don't necessarily want to see Shatta Wale succeed.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand it has nothing to do with him not being popular with Caribbean people. What people need to understand, Jamaica and the rest of Caribbean islands, we have this difference in terms of genres. So Jamaica's genre is reggae dancehall. Mind you, most of the Caribbean islands do listen to reggae dancehall, but to us, our main cultural genre, it would be soca, calypso. There's some other ones as well. The ones that don't speak English, their main language is in English, but there's some other genres within the Caribbean that's their focus.
Could it be rumba? Is it?
No, that'd be rumba would be more Brazil, I think. That'd be
It's okay.
Um,
When it comes, you
it's what
can. Yeah.
it's like what Dominica, the music that Dominica and
Okay.
Haiti would do,
Okay.
that type of music.
Okay.
So when you have those are the main genres. So we will focus on soca and stuff like that. So people won't really pay attention too much
Mm-hmm.
to dancehall unless a song comes out from Jamaica that we are in tune with. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the only reason why people might not be familiar in other Caribbean islands as much with Shatta Wale. It
Okay.
could go for the same way as his rival.
Okay.
Because people say, oh, well, his rival's probably known too. No, it's not like that. It's just that Jamaica is the hub for dancehall in the Caribbean.
Okay. Okay. I see something here along the lines of Rara music. Is it not for Haiti, the people of Haiti? But all right.
Haiti, yeah,
I don't
and
know.
Dominique, places like Dominica as well. Dominica, they have their own type of genre as well. Just trying to remember what it is.
Okay.
Uh, oh man, I just can't remember the top of my head though.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. Maybe I'll just try to look.
Yeah,
Merengue, bacha. Is it bacha?
Moringa is one for sure.
Bachata. Um. Anyway, Dominican Dembo. What is that one too? Anyway. Um. So I get the point you're trying to make, which is like dancehall reggae. In as much as the entire Caribbean likes to listen to it, it is not true to the culture because these are
Yeah,
different islands that have different cultures and what they are true to, right?
yeah,
I get it. Because when you even look at Ghana and Nigeria, it's similar, right?
yeah.
Authentically, we are all tied down to one music genre, which is high life
My
music.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then even with the high life, there are differences. In the Nigeria, there's a typical one they call juju music, right?
Mhm.
The juju music is more traditional, right? And when you
Yeah.
look at that of Ghana, we also have a more traditional side of the high life called palm wine high life, right? The palm wine
Really?
music, yes.
You're
That
learning me,
palm wine
man.
music, you hardly hear it. You know, those are uh, in the olden days, it's just a guitar. You know, they
Mhm.
sit and they sing to the tune where usually you have the palm wine tappers, which these are traditional palm wine making groups, but they
Mhm.
tap the wine out of the palm tree, right? So palm wine, you know,
Oh,
and
okay.
and that is the name that is given to it, and you have very authentic stuff. Like the sounds that
Mhm.
are coming from there are not adulterated in any way, right?
Yeah.
And but it is quite similar when you listen to it. I mean, just from the ears, it is similar.
Mhm.
But if you want to look at the technical side of the songs, then of course you would have differences. And
Yeah.
even when you look at dancehall in Ghana and dancehall in Nigeria,
Mhm.
it takes a different turn as well.
Yeah.
The Nigerian dancehall is quite different. It sounds more like another version that the Ugandans have. You know, there is a certain beat pattern to it. You know,
Yeah.
the
Hey, Would you
bam bam
would
bam
you
bam
would
bam
you
bam.
say like part ranking, like the style of part
No,
ranking would go
but a
for?
ranking no, but a ranking doesn't even do that.
No.
There are guys that actually do that. The typical Nigerian dancer will go something like dan dan da dan dan da dan dan da dan dan, that kind of beat flow.
Yeah.
Whereas when you come to Ghana, they go the typical dancehall lines like you know in Jamaica and all that. Now you know,
Yeah.
and currently you hear someone like Stonebwoy trying to also pioneer. He didn't start it, but he pioneered it. He made it popular, the Afro dancehall thing, where he
Mhm.
put a name to it, where he's basically trying to define anyone who is doing more like Afrobeat flavored dance hall of a sort as
Yeah.
Afro dance hall, you know. So
Yeah.
basically, any dance hall that has African vibes in it, so to say,
Yeah.
right? So that is like an own thing, also on one side. So I,
Yeah.
I get I get what you mean, but um, when you look because you follow Shatta Wale also from a different lens, right?
Yeah.
When you look at what had happened after going to Freedom Street concert, what do you think the impact it has had on his entire brand? What do you see? What do you think personally? What have you observed so far from the performance? Because you've been following him before he even went to that show, so
Yeah.
you can make a good judgment out of that.
It has been very positive. Very positive. Like certain, like people are now like his channel is gaining a lot of momentum
Oh,
just because people know what has happened is being that he was on Freedom Street concert, he has intrigued people. People are more curious now. Who's this Shatta Wale? Now they've seen him perform now. And they know he's from Ghana, which I like the fact that he came on the stage and said that he's from Ghana. So he's now acknowledging that he's taking Ghana on his back, right? That's how I see it. And
but
now when you're in the audience...
Wait a minute. Yeah. If you say he intrigued people, he wasn't the only artist on stage. So why? What happened?
You know what? Because he was literally the only African artist on that stage.
Okay.
And I figured that when it comes to African artists, now people are like, African artists singing dancehall? Because some people just don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, some people just don't know.
Yeah.
And it is true. Some people might not have heard Shatta Wale until then, which is okay. It isn't a bad thing.
Very okay.
But his performance was that enough people were able to see it for what it was and be like, yo, who's this guy? That On God song? Now, what people need to understand about the Caribbean is, I would say we are very religious. But I would say when you look at the foundation of religion in the Caribbean, it more leans towards the Christian way of thinking and stuff like that. When you look at your grandparents and stuff like that. So when you hear something mentioned about God, and stuff like that, people will be more in tune to hearing what this person has to say.
Okay.
And I think using that tune was more effective. So when people actually took a listen now, people are more intrigued to figure out a little bit more. They want to know a little bit more about Shatta Wale. So now they're going to go searching for him wherever they think his music is going to be available. YouTube will be the first place to go. I know that you did see the live that I did with Kim, which is actually his Caribbean manager, right? And Kim was in the crowd, and during her watching it as a Jamaican and seeing how people were receiving it, she literally said that people received it really well. They even made her cry to know that, you know, like, we've come this far, because she's been with Shatta Wale for a long time. We've been well received and we came this far. And now, like, she was elated the fact that I don't think that they expected. I think they knew that he would be received okay, but I don't think that she was expecting him to be received as well as he did. Right? I think he overperformed in terms of what they were thinking.
Okay.
And I think it left a good impression. Now, there will be people, obviously, that would probably say something completely different, but I think for the most part, he was received well. It made people curious. They went looking for him on YouTube. His numbers are up on YouTube. He has now Jamaicans following him on his TikTok. He's now in Jamaicans' mouth. He's been on some TikTok, Jamaica TikTok itself. His songs are in some people's postings and stuff like that. So he is doing well. I think it is a big positive for Shatta Wale coming off of the show.
How big of a deal is it to be a dancehall artist and be recognized in the birth country of dancehall, Jamaica? How big of a deal is it?
Huge. I telling you, I am from the Caribbean. I may not be from Jamaica, but I'm telling you, Jamaicans are proud, prideful people.
Okay.
And for you to break through in Jamaican dancehall, that's a big one. You know how many artists there are singing dancehall in Jamaica? It's like, for you to break through and break barriers, you did something huge. You cannot please Jamaicans that easily when it comes to singing dancehall. A matter of fact, coming from another country, and regardless of whatever country you sing in dancehall and you're received well in the eyes of Jamaicans, that means you did something huge.
Wow. Wow. Let's move away from Shatta Wale a little bit. I want us to talk about another artist, another wing of Shatta Wale, Captan.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Captan is one of the patient dogs, right?
Mm.
And with all the issues that have happened in the Shatta camp with the militants and all, you know, all these things. And
Mm.
I sometimes ask myself, why is he still there?
Yeah.
You know, genuinely asking myself these questions because everyone seemed to have an issue. Everybody is like in a haste to be
Mm.
popular. You get what I mean? But he
Yeah.
seemed to be like, I don't give an F, so to say, about the whole thing. But I listened the whole of last year. I was offline, but was paying attention to the songs he was releasing.
Mm-hmm.
And even the new one, which you've reacted to on
Yeah.
TikTok, The Formation, I've
Yeah.
seen growth and some independence
Yeah.
with him. As and what do you make of him as an artist, and where do you think he's headed? Just from your personal point of view, just looking at him.
Now, for Captain, no, I haven't really followed Captain that deep, so I will admit that to the audience.
Okay.
But from what I've heard, I actually like his delivery. I actually really like his style. When it comes to the way how, just the way how he's presenting the song and the way how he's singing the song and just the format that he's flowing in, it intrigued me. It really intrigued me. So I think what Captain needs to do is consistency.
Okay.
No, all he needs to do now is just keep on dropping songs because you just can't drop one song and three. Because I look at his numbers on YouTube and he's doing pretty well when it comes to the song itself. TikTok, people are paying attention to that song as well. So you just can't drop this one song and then disappear about for a couple of months. You can't do that.
Yeah.
He has to build on the momentum he has now. So what he needs to do is to
Guys, you can see Captain's video right here, and he has currently almost 100,000 views.
Yeah, and
The
that's
song
good.
released the song was released 9 days ago.
Yeah.
This
That's
guy.
that's good. And when it comes to and his channel isn't a huge channel either. So
No.
that's a lot for his channel.
And this is organic stuff.
Yeah.
14,000 subscribers. Organic stuff.
Yeah. And got 98. So that's huge. That's huge.
And you know what is funny? I'm just looking at the channel now. His most viewed video on his channel, his personal channel, was 9 years ago with 93,000 views. And all of a sudden, he has Formation, which has 98,000 in 9 days. Can you imagine? 9 years, 9 days.
Yeah.
Apart.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Big difference.
And this is organic stuff. When I look at this, because I have always been of the opinion that they should have their own channels too, while they were under Shatta Wale, to sort of promote their own stuff, because he released certain songs under Shatta Wale's brand, the Shatta movement on the channel. And I kept thinking to myself that they should have things that will speak for themselves when people come looking, right? I love the trajectory, what is happening, and I just hope he will continue. You were saying he should be consistent and keep giving us tunes back and forth. Let me go back to the videos. Like, for example, the last video he released was 3 months before this.
Yeah.
So when you say, and the one before that was 9 months. So he gave maybe like a good 6 months gap.
Yeah, too long. I think it's too long. That's just my personal take on it. Like I'm looking at it from a fan point of view, or from someone who might pick interest in his music. So for me to stay interested, he has to I would give him a month. At least a month. If you take too long, people are going to forget about you and they're going to move on to the next person. Because you got to remember, you're still trying to build momentum. You can't just do one song and then wait like 3 months. You're not, in the eyes of viewers, you're not big enough to, in some people's view, to take a long break and come back.
Okay.
He doesn't have those numbers in terms of subscribers yet or people following. So what he needs to do, and this is just my opinion, what he needs to do is to drop at least another song, at least within a month. At least.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get something that we talk. So I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you, please.
Yeah, but he really needs to drop a song at least within a month. That's the longest, to be honest.
Okay.
Because as I said, people will move on. If you have another artist that drops, people are going to like pay attention to that artist. And if you took too long, they're going to forget about you. Because if another artist comes out and that person decides, I'm going to drop this song this week and drop another song 2 weeks from now and then 3 weeks from now, slowly everyone's going to forget about Captan dropping songs.
That's true.
Right?
That's
so he has to be consistent. He has to be dropping. So I believe he has to got a lot of material. I will at least hope he does.
I think he does. Because you can't work under Shatta Wale and not have material. That guy.
Yeah, you can't be, right. And notice on the song it says intro, so more is to come.
Yes. I think it's either an EP or but you see here's the thing. There's the problem I have. Usually they say an EP, they have maybe 6 songs on it, and then that's the whole project for the year. And that is the problem. You can't have it like that as the whole project for the year. You can't. You're coming from an umbrella where the fan base that will rally support for you are fond of having Shatta Wale release about 10 songs within a week.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. The least you can do is to offer them once a month.
Yeah.
The least you can do is to offer them once a month, where okay, you have 12 tracks for them in a month. Maybe you shoot 2 or 3 music videos. I mean, then you recently, one of Shatta Wale's former managers, Bulldog, was saying something on TV which I want to have your opinion about. He was saying that he is an artist manager. Shatta Wale hasn't been the only artist he managed. He's managed some groups in Ghana. Huge. They've all been successful in diverse ways. And he was saying that he doesn't think artists should have music videos. He's not... Yeah, I'm explaining to the way he said it. He said nowadays... the investment doesn't make sense because we live in an era where the attention span for people and what they chase are short things. So you have people spending more time on TikTok watching short form videos, and no one is really paying attention to long form music videos, properly shot music videos. He thinks that a better return on investment is visualizers. Like you do like a visualizer where it's not a big investment where you're spending 100,000 because the return on investment will be low. I don't know what you think about something like that in your take.
I'm here laughing because I think is this an investment for him?
No, he's just talking in general to artists.
No.
You're asking if the investment is for him.
Because what it sounds like, and I'm just gonna be honest, what it sounds like, he's looking at it as in what is in it for him personally. How much money I have to put out to do this personally? How much money will I get back from doing this? How much money will I lose from doing this? It is a perspective for him as the manager going about trying to get a music video done. Now, when it comes to an artist, a music video is still very important. Like, I'm going to give you a big example right now, and this is nothing to do with Ghanaian music. Big example, Chris Brown. Okay. Right now, he has this song called Residual, right? Residual came off his album from, I think, the 11/11 album. So it's not last year. I think it's actually the year before.
Okay.
So then we are talking about 2023.
Okay.
Now, I had this song, Residual, on repeat the first time I heard it, and it connect with me in so many different ways, right? I was like, holy shit, it was really good. The song did well in terms of just hearing the audio on YouTube. He dropped the video of this 3 days ago. The song is blowing up on TikTok.
After nearly 2 years?
Yes. The song is blowing up on TikTok, and the song is blowing up on YouTube. It is doing extremely well. Right now, I went in my search on TikTok. The song is slated as very popular on TikTok. That means so on TikTok, and if you're somebody that really spends time to understand TikTok a little bit more, on TikTok, what happens is artists put their song on TikTok, and then there's this part where you, if you want to do a reaction or do something to the song, everything that you've done to the song connects to that particular chart in TikTok. So all the videos connected to that song will fall into that category.
Okay.
So right now that thing has over, and I hope I'm not stating this wrong. I'm quite sure that I think that thing has 400 and something thousand
reactions alone to the song. People lip singing, people dancing to it, people doing all those.
Yeah, doing whatever they're doing. Just find that because on TikTok, you can connect the song to whatever song you are playing in your background. So once the song is connected to that, it is put in that category with that song. So you can see every single thing that people have done to that song in that category. And I think it could either be 40,000, but I'm quite sure it's 400 and something thousand.
The music video I just checked has also hit 6.5 million views. 6.3 million views in 5 days.
Correct. And I think on the audios only did like 4 million. I think
40,
the audio
on Vevo, it is 40 million. And it was released about 9 months ago. On Vevo or Vivo, whatever one will call it. I'm coming. I just want to see something. Yes, so the audio was released 9 months ago.
Yeah, 9 months, yeah.
Yes, 9 months ago. Yeah, so technically, 9 months ago. He waited 9 months long.
9 months. But he was dropping other songs before that. I think what he picked up on, right, is that his base, his audience loved that song. Because a lot of people were, because of the concerts he done, that song was a highlight in a lot of the concerts. And people were like taking videos and stuff of that song. And I think he caught wind of that and realized, this song is doing extremely well. Maybe I should really shoot a video for this song. Because he does pay attention, even though it may take him a year or two.
Okay.
He does pay attention, and look now. So when it comes to me talking about music videos and stuff, music videos are still important. Now, I understand the fact about attention span. Attention span doesn't go towards music videos. It goes towards typical content. Like, people doing stuff, like just doing stuff on TikTok. Music videos, people want to see the whole thing. It is still very important to shoot music videos. I understand what he's saying, but I think he's thinking about, from him personally, how this affects my pocket personally.
Okay.
But for me, as the audience, as someone looking in at it, I want to see my artist. I want to see my artist or my favorite artist drop at least some type of music video. You just can't give me audios. You got to give me music video.
I have always seen music videos as a promotional tool to enhance the listening. Let me say, to enhance the numbers, the streaming numbers, and to keep people thinking about it all the time. So there is this song from Shatta, Wale and Kwame Eugene, Adrinfi. It's an old song. Shatta, Wale, Kwame Eugene, DJ Vyroski. I heard the song.
I reacted to it.
Yes, I heard the song the first time. I didn't really like it. It didn't hit home with me. in any form or shape. However, I saw one actress in Ghana use it in a song. Her name is Lydia Forson. She was just singing word for word and dancing to it, and that image stuck right here. And since then, I connected to the song differently,
Yes.
and I loved it. And so I understand to have a music video, it can imprint a different side to a
Yes.
person's psyche to know that these things, I can look at them in a very, very different way. So I
Yeah,
get it.
because it brings emotion and life to the actual audio when you see it. I'm just going to use this as an example. I'm not trying to really make it about me. So when I listen to a song and then reacting to the song, like you get more into the song when you add emotions to it. You pay attention when you do a little bit more with it. People could see you do something visually than just hearing it. People pay attention more. And people pay attention more when you do something visual than when you just listen to audio. So when it comes to doing music videos are still very important. You can drop all the audios you want, but if there's a sound that is really well received, you at least have to drop a music video for it. I'm not saying go out there and try to drop a music video for every single song, but for some of the songs, especially the ones that are doing really well, because you can look at your numbers, you should drop a video to it. So I don't totally agree with what he's saying. I mean, that's his opinion, but I think he's looking at it from a manager's point of view than an actual viewer's point of view, how I would see it. And in terms of the attention span, which is true, we do have a short attention span, but it is not to music videos. We would watch a video to the end.
I honestly think that you are a very creative genius. When you were talking about emotions being applied to the music and stuff like that, I see some of the reactions you do, especially now on TikTok, and I'm like, how the hell did this idea come to him to like put this thing here, do that one there, and do this one here? Yeah, I just watch it and I'm like, even the short one you did to introduce me to your your TikTok audience, right?
Yeah.
I was amazed at the part where you just sounded or made my name louder in that feel and stuff like that. And I'm like, what? Tell me something. I really want to know.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people will only reduce it down to editing. But before the editing, there's supposed to be a deeper connection to the material you're listening to. You need to have an understanding and to have the creation process a lot different to communicate to people to understand what you are singing about or what the song is about.
Yeah.
What is the process for you? What makes you create such videos?
Okay, so when it comes to listening to a song, and let's say I want to choose a particular song I want to react to, I actually listen to the song and I listen to what they're singing about. I listen to the tone of the person as well. And I try to pinpoint certain things where I know I can get emotion out of it. So in my mind, I'm trying to envision what it feels like if it was me singing the song. So what I would want, what I do is, yes, it is the artist that I am listening to, but I try to pretend it is me.
Okay.
It's me who's singing the song and what I will want out of the song or what I will want to see the song for. So when I am doing my reactions in terms of the Shatta Wale, the reactions and stuff like that, when I listen to the song, I don't know, it's just the emotion that I feel. And then being that I am doing the editing as well, I just look at it and I was like, this part I want to do something a little bit different, a little bit at angle, because I want to create this type of emotion towards the particular lyric or viewing of the song. So when you see me all doing all these little fancy effects, it's because I'm trying to gather people's attention in terms of what I'm doing. Because what I realize about the human mind in terms of watching videos, it is more intriguing to watch a video constantly moving, right?
Yes. Yes.
Than to sit there and watch somebody just. Now, if I did the same reactions that I did right now, focused still, and I just doing my normal thing, there's nothing intriguing about me
True.
singing and doing this and all that. And there's really nothing intriguing. But if I do this, and then my camera and everything is moving like this, and I'm doing my thing. Now, you're not only focused on me, you're like looking at everything around me, right? So you're like, holy, you're taken back. You're like, wow. So now you're intrigued at the visual, but you're still listening to the sound, right? So I am basically looking at ways where I can constantly keep it moving and just keep you like focused on what I am doing. Instead of, I don't want to be boring. I really don't want to be boring. So I do things to not, to keep you engaged in what I am doing.
You see, when I look at the things you've been able to do with the creating space, I think TikTok is the right platform for you, because you were doing some stuff also on YouTube, but TikTok has even taken it to like a whole nother level, and you don't have to even stress much on doing content that is like 12 minutes long, 15 minutes long and everything. Man, maybe you gave the TikTok creators a bribe, maybe you bribed them to create it for you. I don't know, but maybe guys, you tell me in the comment section. Go to Jigsy's TikTok page right now, go watch what he's doing over there, and tell me if he might not have bribed them to sort of like create some of these how do you call it, effects. When I watch your videos, I'm like, yo, what is going on? What goes through your mind? But you've explained it. The fact that when you're listening to a song, even the type of strings that are used, the keys that are played, they communicate an emotion. So usually you don't even have to understand the words of the song. But if you are open-minded and align yourself to the very sound pattern, you will get the very emotion the song is trying to communicate.
And I will say this, Mordin, as well. My wife makes fun of me because what she does is she literally after I do an edit on a song, I probably would edit like 3 or 4 different times before I get it to how I want. But she's like, you're literally sitting on there watching yourself over and over and over again. I tell her, man, I just, sometimes I am intrigued at the stuff I'm doing. Sometimes I surprise me because I watch it and I'm like, oh, did I do that? Like, my sons even like look at it like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they ask me, how long did I take doing that? I said, sometimes, I'll be honest though, some of those short forms, it take me to complete something really nice. It would take me about 2 hours.
What?
Yeah.
What? And guys, please listen. Don't let Jigsy fool you. He's not a 20-year-old man. Neither is he an 18-year-old man. This man is old. Just looks fresh. Just looks young. He's kept himself well. But I mean, you create like one of these Gen Zs will do. Even better.
Yeah, and a lot of people tell me that too. When I tell people, so a lot of people perceive me to be like here in Canada. A lot of people I remember there was a job that I got hired for. The girl was like, "Oh, so what are you doing in school now?" I'm like, "School?" I'm like, "No, I don't go to school." She's like, "You don't go to school? You're not in college?" "No, I'm not in college." I'm like, "Yeah, my daughters are in their 20s. She's like, "What? You have daughters in their 20s? I'm like, "Yeah, I have daughters in my late 20s. I am not." She said, "Man, you look so young." I'm like, I don't know. I guess it's good genes. My mom, my dad. My mom looks really young for her age. My mom would pass for my sister.
What?
Yeah, my
What?
mom, my pop, and my sister, right? My mom looks really young too. So I'm like, maybe it's the genes, and that's why I look younger. I look so young. But yeah, I try to connect with the young people in such a way where
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be one of those older guys who are trying to dress like them and be like them.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to be able to communicate with them and be, one of those type of dudes where you can walk up to me and ask me any question and feel comfortable to ask me a question, and I'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to tell you from my point of view as an older person,
Mm-hmm.
how I would see certain things. Like in the same job that I was telling you that I went into, I had a lot of people who are in their 20s
Mm-hmm.
are now going into college, but they didn't see me as, yeah, they might have, once they found out my age and stuff like that, my kids and stuff, they didn't even see me as on their level. They also respected me and see me as a father figure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they understand, yes, I'm a little young and I might dress a little bit young, but when it comes to the intellect and explaining stuff to them about life and stuff like that, they understand, oh, yeah, this guy might look this way, but when it comes to knowledge, he's really giving me good knowledge, man.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Mm.
I appreciate you saying
Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling
I
you,
appreciate
man.
you saying that, man.
Kudos to you, man. I really love that. Trust me. Jigsy,
Yeah.
how far off are you from Toronto? Or how do you guys pronounce it? Toronto?
Yeah, Toronto, you
Toronto?
got it right.
Toronto?
Yeah.
You guys disturb us too much. How far are you from Toronto?
I am about I'm about an hour and a half away from Toronto.
Okay, so I asked
Uh,
for a good reason
yeah,
because next month, on the 22nd,
yeah.
Stonebwoy is performing in Toronto.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Stonebwoy
That's
is
gonna be
performing
interesting.
in Toronto. Yes, so I'm thinking that, okay, Jigsy reacts to songs. Jigsy does entertainment related stuff. Is
Mm,
Jigsy planning to one day storm this type of shows to have a one-on-one experience with the artist? Because it is different to listen to them
mm,
and watch them on YouTube,
yeah,
because the actual experience might be also a lot different. Is this something
yeah.
that has crossed your mind before?
It has crossed my mind before. I think what kind of holds me back too is my actual job too.
Hmm.
Like to get time off would be probably difficult to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
To attend certain concerts, because even though I said an hour and a half, because Canada is so big and the highways stretch so long, an hour and a half seems like short, but the
Mm.
drive is long, if you know what I
Oh,
mean.
okay. Yeah,
And
yeah.
we can drive at, I think, 120 miles per hour,
Mm.
kilometers per hour.
Okay.
So imagine driving at that speed all the way for an hour, right? It's now and then it's busy and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a good distance. If I was to show you a map,
Uh-huh.
because the city that I'm originally in is called St. Catharines, which is part
Okay.
of what you call Niagara region.
Okay.
So I'm to the bottom, right? Toronto's all the way, not all the way to the top, but they're more upward, and I'm
Okay.
more downward, close to the United States.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, for me, I don't really mind driving. I love driving. I love going
yeah,
long distances. I mean, sometimes if I have to do things in other cities that are maybe 3 hours drive away from me, I go and come
yeah,
back the same day to the house.
yeah,
I drive in and out the same day, and I'm normal about it. I don't know. For some reason, when I'm behind the steering, it's like I have peace of mind. And
yeah.
so I can be there for hours,
Wow.
driving. Yes, I remember there was a time I had to go to Italy, and
Yeah.
the drive was 13 hours. Yes, the only stops I made on the way was to buy fuel.
Wow, kudos to you, man. Because
Was
me and
to-
my family did something similar like that. We went to a place called New Brunswick, which is the French side of Canada.
yeah.
And it was about that long drive. And I really didn't like it because that was a long. I don't know how you do it, Mordin. We had to do stops, we had to sleep and stuff like
No,
that in the car. And
I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, for me, the key, if I'm driving, let's say for 6 hours nonstop,
yeah,
I can do that alone with no one.
wow.
Yes, but if I'm going past 6 hours, so let's say 7 hours, I can also do it alone. Maybe 8 hours, I can do it alone, but I have to start in the morning where I
Yeah,
have continuous daylight for me to go
Yeah.
through that stretch. However, if I want to do like, let's say, a 12-hour stretch, 15-hour stretch, I need someone who can engage me in good
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. Because you don't want to fall asleep for sure.
Yes. If I have good conversation going, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yes. And I don't mind looping songs. I can play one song for 1 hour and I don't care. People get tired of this whole thing. People get tired
Yeah.
of this whole thing.
I'm like that too. I could play like one or two songs on a loop, especially if I'm really into the song,
Yeah.
over and over and over and
Yeah.
over again. So I know what you mean. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
When you have reacted to songs from Stonebwoy,
Yeah.
when you watch his music videos, right, and you listen to some of his songs, you would see that Stonebwoy focuses a lot on sound quality. He
Yes, he does.
dwells a lot on that, like he tries to make sure that every sound that comes out sounds a certain type of way. Probably because you can also see it in the way he likes to dress up when he's making his shows and all that stuff. He likes to always put things in a certain light,
Yeah.
when you look at an artist like that and you want to go to his concert, does that put a certain high level of expectation on you, what to expect on the grounds if you're going for a live show from him?
Yeah, because he focused so much on vocal. He has some good vocals, man.
Yeah, he does.
And being watching him and reacting to his music too, and his music videos, I expect him to be hitting those vocals the same way. Well, not the same way, but in reality, I know you can't necessarily hit it the same way, but I expect you come close to what you were doing in those songs. Like, or not, it would not, because when you are a singer and you emphasize on vocals, people expect you to deliver almost close enough. Because if you go on that mic and you don't sound anywhere close to your vocal ability in the music video, I'm not going to pay attention to your music anymore. You're going to come off as fake to me. It'd be like, how are you doing this in your music videos? So you're a studio artist? That's how it would come off as a studio artist. You got to give me that same type of energy. You got to give me that same type of vocals. So a lot of pressure would be on him, especially. I think he comes off as one of those guys, as you said, he pays attention to his vocals and stuff. That's very important. So I think, he has to really nail a lot of his songs in terms of the way how he presents himself already.
Okay. Interesting. So I want to ask you something. Currently, when you look at the African music space, you do listen to some songs from other regions too, right? Within Africa. And when you also look to Ghana, are there some particular artists that excite you currently? Some new artists you've seen, you've heard, that you think, oh, this is good?
Have I been paying that much attention though? Because I don't want to get here and lie to you and say, I've been paying really much. You know what, Mordin? Again, to be honest, I haven't been fully paying attention to a lot of different artists like I used to. I will say when it comes to when it comes to country-wise, I find myself like Congolese music.
Congolese, okay.
Yes. Even though I can't even speak no bit of French. I can't speak French. But I love Congolese, like Fali. I like Fali's music. Yeah.
That into Congolese music and you like Fali Ipupa, then I know you like to wind your waist a lot. So
yeah.
You see, you tell me the type of song you like to listen to, and I can tell you who you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Fali. I even listen to some Tanzania music as well. What's his name? Platinum Diamonds.
Okay, Platinum. Yeah, Diamond Platinums. Yeah.
Diamond Platinum. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've listened to his music as well, and he kind of goes in between that type of music. I I think what happens, why I like Congolese music, even though I can't understand, mind you, I think. All right, so where I'm from, obviously, is Barbados, and our main genre is we do listen to dancehall a lot, a lot.
Hello.
But our main genre is still soca music.
Soca, yeah.
Soca music is about you. There's a lot of waist movement, a lot of whining, and gyrating hips and stuff like that. So being that they do it even better, and even better, right? And that's part of it. That's part of their culture. You can literally see that's what they do. That's how they dance with ease.
With ease,
I think because with ease. So that connection of I can relate to something that even though I might not understand the song, but man, the vocal ability of Fali and other artists is top notch. I could connect. I could connect in a way where, oh man, like I love this music, even though I can't understand it. I love this music. So Congolese music and Zimbabwe as well. They have something called Zim Dancehall.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you know about Zim Dancehall, right?
Zim Dancehall. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is where I started thinking about maybe if Shatta Wale connect with Zim dancehall artists or other dancehall artists.
You know what is funny? Bringing this thing up. There was an artist from Zimbabwe who went on, I think Shatta Wale gave him some clout some time back. They were just releasing these songs to each other, back and forth.
Yeah.
But it was just purely business-wise. He throws one, Shatta throws one. He throws one, he throws one. He throws one, and then he quit.
Yeah.
Right? It was nice. I love that. Was when I got to know about the Zim dancehall, because there was a video I saw where guys were just jamming to one of Shatta Wale's dancehall tunes, and it was more like it felt like it was in Ghana, right? And I was like, yo. So I googled, I tried looking up for things, and then this guy, I've forgotten his name, but it was like a back and forth thing where. And it's more like within a space of 2 weeks, they each released about 3 songs, just going back and forth. Yeah. You cook for me, I eat it, and I cook something better. That was what was happening.
Nice.
It was really good. It was. I'll look that. I'm sure the guys who are watching the video right now will comment in the comment section the name and all that stuff, and then we'll get to see. Perhaps maybe you can do a video on TikTok clash of those 2 artists. Also, like one song from here, one song from there. Yeah. I just have forgotten the name of the artist, but it was a Zimbabwean artist. It was at this stage where they were talking about the African dancehall thing, right?
Yeah.
And so you can't say you're an African dancehall artist if you've not clashed with someone in another African country. You understand that level? Yes, that was the thing.
I mean, I know you asked me if there's anybody I'm paying attention to, and please forgive me because I haven't been, because I'm kind of still fresh on coming back. I think I just stay focused more on who I already knew. And when I was on YouTube, I was like looking really outward, and I was looking at different new artists coming out, and there were quite a few like Raga Boy and those type of artists from Ghana. I was like, yo. Like, there's so much potential in Ghana, but I think you did explain to me, like, the radio stations, you guys don't do something like royalties. You don't really do...
It's tough. It's tough. This is one of the things that Shatta Wale keeps complaining about. There are royalties, right? See, arguably, in the entire of Ghana and probably the world, Shatta Wale is one of the few artists that releases a lot of songs in a year. Under a typical calendar year for Shatta Wale, it's nothing less than 100 songs.
Yeah.
And so, can you imagine someone like Shatta Wale with numerous hit songs? I mean, Shatta Wale can stand and perform 100 hot songs in one night.
Yeah.
And it will surprise you that the royalty collection company in Ghana at one point paid Shatta Wale when he was at his heights, when the songs were everywhere, he was paid somewhere around 35,000 Ghana cedi which at the time will add up to maybe $3,000, $4,000
Wow. That's in a year?
for the whole year is royalties.
Damn.
So you see why he gets to them and
Yeah.
speaks the way he does, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to talk to the gatekeepers. He tries to speak against the traditional media
Yeah.
because the whole thing has been turned around. So, for example, there is something called payola,
Mhm.
which is basically you giving the radio station something or whoever is working at the station some money
Yeah.
to play your stuff for you. It can be
Yeah.
cash or kind, but it is payola, it is bribery, something like that sort, right?
Yeah.
And what is happening is that the artist whose song needs to be discovered and put out there so they can earn some royalties from the airplay and all that kind of stuff, it's not like that. They would rather have to cough out money, go pay these individual radio stations to put their songs on rotation, and they don't even get anything out of it. It is different if, let's say, you put your song out there and let's say you invest $10,000 to promote your
Yeah.
song on radio station, and then you know that at the end of the year you're gonna get $20,000. I mean, it's a good investment. It's not a bad
Yeah.
one to do. So that is why Shatta Wale was trying to teach the young guys that carve a niche for yourself, have a dedicated following, serve them exactly what they want, and use the DSPs because the digital stores are going to give you exactly what you want.
Yes.
Although you might be cheated here and there, we know there are some, there are some cuts
Yeah.
in there too. But at least, just yesterday, I was on YouTube trying to come up with another video because before I used to do these statistics kind of videos, like how much the artists are getting on YouTube and stuff like that. So I was looking up the numbers they are getting, right?
Yeah.
And Shatta Wale's earnings for a year, according to Social Blade, should be somewhere in the upwards of $200,000, right? Just on
Yeah.
YouTube alone, right? And you look at that and you ask yourself, what will he get off AudioMac? What will
Yeah.
he be getting on Spotify, Apple Music, Boomplay, Tidal, anywhere he finds his music?
Yeah.
And so all this together on these digital stores can bring him something around 300K, 400K every single year.
Yeah.
And you still want to control him, whereas you just give him, let's say, $1,002 or maybe $2,000 a year. How does that even make sense? So that brings my next question to you.
Yeah.
It's like, usually, I know if you don't understand most of the Ghanaian languages and how the whole thing is, sometimes you don't have a picture to the whole story. A lot of people think Shatta Wale rants a lot. He likes to come on there, rant, insult people and all that stuff. For you who don't understand much to what is going on in the scene, when you see such a person ranting, what comes to mind?
No.
Someone who you deem maybe talented or something just coming out there ranting and just causing trouble. What goes through your mind?
So when I view Shatta Wale and if people want to call it rants and stuff like that, what I did notice as an outsider looking in, and I've always say this, I always felt like if it was Shatta Wale against the world. I always felt like if all the legacy media, radio or television, I always feel like if they weren't giving him a fair chance. He doesn't have that support system from them at all. So he has to do it by himself.
Okay.
And I think I think that's what attracted me, as in I felt like wow, this man is going up against that with little to no help, but he's still being successful. And seeing that, I get why, he might rant because he's being treated unfair. Now, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
I can't talk for other people.
Yeah.
But this is just my opinion as an outsider looking in and paying attention to his music and paying attention to certain interviews and stuff like that. I find that he always has to be on the defense.
Okay.
You can't blame him for being on the defense.
So, yeah, you can't find him to be overly defensive. Of course, if
Yeah.
that's where you eat from, you have to always be defensive. If
Yeah.
someone is trying to attack your family, what brings food to the table for you as well,
Yeah.
these are things you don't joke with.
Yeah.
Understand? These are things you don't joke with. Jigsy, I want to know something from you.
Yeah.
Um, when you were speaking about you listening to songs from Congo
Mhm.
and Tanzania, because Diamond Platinum is Tanzania, he represents East Africa, right? It brought my attention to something which is a confusion in the minds of a lot of people. This has to do with Afrobeat and
Mhm.
Afrobeats.
Okay.
There is a
Yeah.
difference, but people don't know, right? So when you listen to a typical Burna Boy sound, Wizkid
Mhm.
sound, the typical sounds you know from Davido, all these people, these are Afro beats, right?
Beats
This
with the
is
S, right?
without the S, Afro beat,
Oh, okay.
Afro beat. So this is what you hear from them,
Yeah.
right? And Afro beats is more like a collection of what the African sound is. It is an umbrella term for everything that falls underneath it in a way. So you have um, this sound from the Congo.
Hmm.
You have typical sounds from Uganda.
Yeah.
You have the high life, for example.
Yeah.
You have the juju music from Nigeria. You have um, the South African kwaito.
Yeah.
There is kwaito before the amapiano. You understand? And
Yeah. I'm a
yes,
fan. Yeah.
and
I love that.
kwaito is more traditional to the sound.
Yeah.
For the South Africans, and then you have the azonto, which was Ghanaian sound.
Yeah.
Also, that made it internationally first before the re-emergence of this Afrobeat thing, kind of stuff, right? So, and you have the sukus, also, which is mostly predominantly popular amongst the francophone African regions, right?
Yeah.
And all these sounds, all of a sudden, seem to be put in one basket, and just define Afrobeat as the sound for Africa.
Oh.
And when you understand the richness of the individual sounds, you have been listening to Congolese music. And when
Yeah.
you listen to it and you listen to that sound, the pattern of the sound, the spirit it carries, and someone just says, this is just like what whiskey does.
No.
Someone would easily be offended. You understand? And
Yeah.
sadly, that is what is happening out there.
Wow.
Everyone thinks that every African artist does Afro beat.
And that's the problem. That's a big problem. Like, I like the fact that you educated me there because you see, I personally did not know that there's Afro beat and there's Afro beats. And the problem is that no one has really come out, see, like how you explain it to me. No one internationally wise has come and said, this is what is Afro beat. And this is what is Afro beats. And a lot of people on this side of the world does not know the difference.
Because people interchange them. Oh, I'm
Yep.
listening. What are you listening to? Afrobeat. You know this Afrobeat artist? Afrobeats artist? And you know what pains me is that most of the artists too are jumping on the same bandwagon and not educating people.
Yeah, not like for me, because I have listened to individuals, obviously I would never put Congolese music and say it's Afro beats. I can literally hear there's a difference in sound and everything like that. In melodies, there's a big difference. When I hear Afro beat, I always usually lean and say Nigerian.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which you're right. It's Nigerian. That's the Nigerian sound. Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, I can hear a song and can tell that when it's not Afrobeat. I can really hear and say, well, that's not an Afrobeat song. I mean, it might sound similar, but there's songs that don't even sound similar.
Mm.
And I can differentiate why is an Afrobeat sound
Mm-hmm.
from what something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a lot of people who aren't educated enough. I'm not meaning that they're not educated, but when it comes to the term of Afrobeat,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't realize that there's more genres. It ain't just
Mm.
Afrobeat. There's
Mm.
more artists out there. There's different sounds, different genres
Mm.
associated to different artists. And that is because, as I said, media and it is not explained
Mm.
over
Mm.
here on this side of the world that there's different sounds. And it sucks because
Mm.
not everybody's being thrown in one category
Mm-hmm.
when they shouldn't be. There
Mm.
are no, like, why would a Congolese artist be in an Afrobeat list? Like why?
And you know what? There are artists who are also just chasing clout,
Yeah.
and when they are nominated for some awards, instead of educating and saying that, hey, I don't belong to this category, they will
Nope.
just gladly go for it because it's a BET award, it's a Grammy award, it's an MTV whatever award. They like the glam. They
Yeah.
just want to go for the pops, and
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
It's like I can use this as an example, Mordin. That's like how many people in the Caribbean will wish that they had a little soca category, but
Mm,
there's none.
mm,
There's no soca artist that can. What would happen is if you have a really big soca song, I don't even think I've ever seen it happen, but they would throw you in the category with dancehall when that's completely different, or they would throw you in the category with world music.
mm.
And there are more soca artists. I hope I'm not incorrect, but there is more soca artists than there are dancehall artists.
I think you
Because
could be right. I think you could be right.
if you take artists, the amount of soca artists that are in Barbados, the amount that are in Trinidad, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, there's so many different
Mm-hmm,
Caribbean artists that
mm-hmm,
play soca music and have
mm-hmm,
soca artists. And Jamaica, yes, they might have like over 1 million people in population, but when you combine all the other Caribbean artists that their main genre will be soca, I'm sure you're going to have more
a lot
soca
of
artists
artists. Mm,
than dancehall artists.
mm,
But dancehall is still more popular than soca music, just
mm-hmm.
for the fact that it reached so far.
Yeah.
Jamaica has done a really good job in
Mm-hmm.
history when it comes to putting their music, like dancehall,
Yeah.
reggae, out there to the world.
Mm, mm.
Soca didn't get that reach. I mean, it is known now, but it didn't have that reach like how dancehall and reggae has that reach
Mm,
across the world, right?
mm,
So I understand why people would get angry when they're put in a category where they do not belong.
mm, mm.
And that should change. I believe, I don't know if it's because they figure that there are not enough artists, which I doubt, but there's not enough artists in those particular genres, but they are.
I
I
think I
think
think
it's laziness, honestly.
no, it's not laziness. It's more of the commercial viability of those type of sounds.
Yeah,
Don't forget, the event organizers are always looking for where they can attract the most attention and money
yeah,
from. So if they know, for example, soca is a big genre. It's around the Caribbean. It's well known, right? But
yeah,
when you transcend the Caribbean, dancehall and reggae travels farther.
yeah,
So they ask themselves, if we want to deal with um, an award show and we want to get people to talk about these events, should we rather put, let's say, a category that celebrates calypso
mm,
or soca or dancehall and reggae? They would go for the popular one because when you come to Germany, they have hardcore dancehall communities. When you go to
yeah,
Africa, they have it. When you go to other places, they have it. Right? It's not the same. So,
yeah. No,
but what I don't like is when you categorize everything under one umbrella,
yeah,
because
it's
then
not
you
fair.
demean the people who naturally and traditionally or culturally have nursed this type of sounds for a long time, and
Yeah,
it's a part of them. It's difficult.
yeah,
It's
it's
difficult.
difficult and it's unfair to them as well.
It's just one of those things, man. I don't know, but one day we will get there. I've enjoyed this session right here. I think for the
Yeah,
fact that guys, we lost out on space, and so we had to cut this earlier. But it's been an amazing conversation with you, Jigsy.
Thank you, Wale.
I like the fact that we could go back and forth with a lot of the conversation. Nothing was scripted, but I could bounce off some of the ideas you were giving to ask some questions in there as and when. And I love the contributions you gave. It's wonderful. And guys, this is a learning curve for myself. It's my first time doing like a podcast related stuff. So I know with time, I will learn. I would get better with it. And I hope you've enjoyed this conversation right here with Jigsy. Jigsy is on TikTok. Can you tell them the name on TikTok so they can go follow you on TikTok?
Okay, so the TikTok name is the same as my YouTube channel, which is Jigs Illustration. So I make sure I kept the name the same so I could be easily found. And when it comes to my the @ is @Reaction God.
Reaction God. Yeah. Jigsy Illustration, Reaction God.
Yeah. Pick up TRB. Oh, man, I miss my guy TRB, man.
Yeah, man. TRB, that reggae boy. Charlie, we salute you wherever you are. Recently, I think about a week or two ago, he posted one of his old videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, check YouTube. TRB posted one of the old videos, and I was like, is he making a comeback? But I'm coming. I'll just check it. I'll check it right now and show you. TRB. I was just there randomly. I saw, he posted a reaction to Formula Alkaline.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. I hope you'll be able to see it. This video right there.
Yeah.
This video right there. I don't know, because of the, how do you call it? You are not able to see it properly, but
because of the focus.
Yeah. You see it right there? Yes.
Yeah, I see it.
3 weeks ago.
Really?
3 weeks ago. Yes, 3 weeks ago. And when he posted it, I was like, is he making a comeback?
You know what? I feel. So I've spoken to TRB a few times last year.
Yeah.
I know he's really busy and work has him occupied. I feel he's going through that phase of what I am going through, testing.
Okay.
I think he's like, because that's what happened. You feel the side of you like wanting to return, but you don't want to return. So you just start posting like old stuff just to see if people will respond and if it's worth your while to come back. So I feel he's testing I feel he wants to come back and do something, but I think he's testing the waters to see if people are still into what he was doing before. I actually did send him a voice note telling him that there are people who are still looking for him. On my TikTok, I had people still saying they miss TRB, so I let him know in the voice note.
Yeah.
So I hope he will return. If he does, that'd be awesome. I mean, all of us could do something like TRB. TRB has, like, when it comes to me and TRB, we had this conversation before. We said, like, we were, not that we're trying to say that we were trendsetters, but we were literally like the only guys really back then that were like really paying attention to Shatta, Wale and Stonebwoy, because we were talking about 5 years back.
Yeah.
The only people outside of that was you and Code Mickey, because we saw you guys. You guys are more of vloggers who pay more attention to detail and news. And I know Code Mickey does break down actual lyrics.
Yes.
As me and TRB, we were doing the reaction. We brought that value of entertainment and hyping a song, and that's what we were doing, right?
Yeah.
So and I think that's what. Who missed me? It says it all.
Yeah.
People that he called, he just brought it down like Code Mickey, you, because he knows what you guys were doing in terms of his music, and then me and TRB, and then
Mr. J.
There was someone else that he mentioned as well.
Mr. J.
Mr. J. I didn't even know what became of Mr. J, but I think he's still around.
He's still there. He still does videos. Mr. J does videos, but he's gone more into other reactions and all. You know, just I get it. You know, sometimes if you're just doing reactions towards Shatta Wale, you are more like I don't know. It's more like your growth is stagnated in a way. Like you grow with the fan base, but the wider scope, if you would want to look at other things, it stagnates you because then the subscriber count will not necessarily support the new
Yeah,
side you want to go to. So let's say you want to talk about other things that interest you that has equally the same value you put on the Shatta Wale reaction, they will not
yeah,
listen to you.
yeah.
But it's the same you. That is the thing that it.
Me and TRB had this conversation in when I had a conversation with him.
Mhm,
I think what happened to us as well is that yes, we love Shatta movement,
mhm.
but we also wanted people to realize it's us
It's
too,
us. That's true.
right? We want people to realize it's us too.
Mm,
So yes, we like Shatta Wale. Yes, we love the movement.
mhm,
And yes, and the movement loves Shatta Wale, but we also want people to realize it is us too. We're not
mm,
just
mm,
objects.
mm,
We don't want to be seen as just the objects. We want to be seen as people. Like when you see a reaction, be like, yo, Shatta movement for life, but that's Jake Z.
mm,
Yo, Shatta
mm.
movement for life. Yo, that's
RB,
TRB.
exactly,
Right?
exactly, exactly.
Just like that. We are still our own individual. So I find like for me, like on TikTok, I try to be, yes, I react to a lot of Shatta Wale on my TikTok,
Mm,
but there's something that I actually do worry about.
mm,
I feel like because I'm reacting to so much Shatta Wale, I am not making space for other people to react to other people's music. And
mm.
then I'm worried about, so when I post content that is not Shatta Wale related, will people still pay attention? And suddenly, my viewership would drop for a video that has nothing to
To
do
do
with
with Shatta
Shatta Wale.
Wale.
And this is where the stagnant stuff becomes like realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people like, and I'm saying this now,
Yeah.
I want people to realize, so I'm making my plea here to people as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Mm-hmm. No
Mordin.
problem. Do so. Yeah.
I want people, so when you go on my my TikTok channel and you see me reacting to a lot of Shatta Wale, yes, I love Shatta Wale.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love and respect Shatta Movement for Life family because they really took me on their shoulders and stuff. And I say this in one of my postings as well.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to understand that if I do react to other artists' music, it doesn't mean that I am done with Shatta Wale and Shatta Movement for Life, or I'm just trying to go viral. I just want to show other artists that I like as well. I appreciate other artists as well. So if you see me reacting to someone else's music and you know you like the music, feel free to say something about that person's music. I know you are Shatta Movement, but if you gotta be listening to don't tell me you listen to only Shatta Wale. You gotta at least got other artists outside of Shatta Wale that you tend to listen to too. So yes, do your Shatta Wale, focus on Shatta Wale, but when I drop stuff too or other artists, doesn't mean that I'm done with Shatta. It just means that I love other artists as well,
As
and I
well.
like other music as well. And yeah, I don't want to stay stagnant.
Because even behind the scenes, you don't only listen to Shatta Wale songs, you listen to
No,
other songs. So if you listen to other songs and you vibe with them, why can't you react to them as well?
yeah, and you know what? And I will, and I can say this, Martin, and I will post other videos of other artists, and if they don't do the numbers, so what?
So what?
So what?
Continue to do what you have to do.
So what? If they don't do the viewer, if people don't view it like how they view the Shatta Wales, so what? Eventually, people will.
We'll catch
I mean,
on.
other people will come in. They will catch on, right?
That's true. I
So,
think
like today, I think.
that was the mistake. I think now going forward, even with this podcast, any topic at all, I will discuss any topic I want because this now gives me the possibility to like explore diverse issues and understand people from different walks of lives, right? And
Yeah.
I think even if this attracts, let's say, 100 views or so, it's still telling you there's a segment of people who like it. And so you can cater for them, and with time, it will grow. People will come to understand that, okay, this other side is also good. We wanted to box you, but you are more than the box we put around you. So with time,
Yes.
they will come. With time, they will come. So I think one of the problems we made was the fact that we decided to still stay within the same box and not necessarily branch out. Right. But I think when you branch out, like Code Mickey is a typical example. Code Mickey branched out and consistently posted things out of the Shatta Wale news. And guess what? Today, Code Mickey, I was so happy when I saw Code Mickey on Black Sherif's concert. He introduced Black Sherif on stage and had a skit.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a skit with him on stage where he brought him on stage. They sat down like a podcast interview session thing. They had a back and forth. And even his latest music video, he featured Code Mickey on it at the introduction and stuff. You see?
Nice.
And still, Shatta movement respects him. Shatta Wale
Yeah.
respects him because they know that beyond what he does, this is an intelligent young man who also wants to shed light on other things. And that is what
Yes.
I think we failed to do. It's a gradual
Yes.
process, but the more you do, other people will also come in. Because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you hold the value. It is you. When you, Jigsy, you take the video, the spin you put on that reaction, no one else does it like you do. And
Yes.
so if you can put the same spin on Fali Pupa, you can put the same spin on Diamond Platinums, whoever it is, with time, it's only a matter of time. It will
Yeah.
come. It will
It will, it
come.
will, it will come. Like I went totally out of the box this morning.
Yeah.
I went and posted, I told you about the Chris Brown.
Yeah. The residue.
I was trying to figure out, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it?
Just
And
do
I
it.
posted it. I know it's totally out of what people are accustomed to me focusing on African artists. I went jump right onto Chris Brown because I actually at work, believe it or not, Martin, he is in my playlist of songs, and I play Chris Brown a lot, right?
I'm coming. I want to see something shortly, right now.
Yeah.
I'm coming. I just want to see something shortly. But I don't see the video you posted for Chris Brown. I'm on your channel right now. On
Does it say residual?
So
Oh, I know what I did. Oh,
you just posted
You
on
know
the
what?
stories, maybe?
I posted on my. So I have a second channel.
Yeah, is it? It's on the stories.
Oh,
So you need to
it's on
put
my-
it. You need to put it in the. This is nice. This is nice, though. Oh, Lover Boy, Lover Boy, Lover Boy, Jigsy.
I grew up on R&B music, to be honest.
Okay.
Even though so I love passionate music about women and just the whole love process. And then when it comes to past experience with women and stuff like that, certain songs attract me. So I was always like that.
Ah.
So that's why I reacted that way to Chris Brown, because that song reminded me of certain things that happened to me in the past in regards to relationships. I was like, yo, this is why this song connect, and this is why I like this song, even though it's not going to be something popular on my page on TikTok.
Yeah.
And people might just scroll over it and don't even like it at all. I'm just putting it there. I'm going to put it now in my actual thing.
Put it and do the right tags like you showed me. And guys, it's been an amazing time with Jigsy right here.
Thanks,
it's a
Mordin.
long form. This has been an inspiring one right here. Let me tell you something, guys. If you're out there, you don't know something, admit you don't know it. You learn because someone out there is willing to help you. Someone out there is willing to hold your hands and teach you the right way to go if you need that help, genuinely. I mean, Jigsy reached out to me when I started posting videos on TikTok, and he gave me some guidelines, some tips. He opened up to me and said, hey, if you need anything, come to me, ask me, I will guide you. He gave me some wonderful tips. I also contacted Friday Bonkofi. Actually, Friday Bonkofi is one of the guys in the SM camp. He does a lot with statistics and all that stuff. He does some good write-ups too. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, I know someone is using some of my videos on TikTok and I want to create a TikTok account, but I don't have time. So can he get someone to run it for me using my videos, and I'm going to pay the person? That was the offer I gave him. And then he was like, nah, it's easy. Do it yourself. You can do it. Do it this way, do it that way, and then just put it out there. And just within a matter of a week, things started flying. And I'm like, okay. I started enjoying it. Yeah, it's a bit boring sometimes to upload the videos, but I get the whole gist. You understand? So
It can be intimidating too,
it is.
Martin.
It
Yeah,
is.
because it's new to me too.
Yeah.
I'm still learning,
Yeah.
so it can become very intimidating. So it puts you on a pause for a little bit until
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, guys, do not forget, the world is open. It's a big space for us to all win. That is why it is very imperative that even if you support Shatta movement, you should also support Stonebwoy. You should also support Jupiter Music. You should also support Samini. Anyone out there who is putting the flag of Ghana high out there, you should support them whenever you have the chance to. Because guess what? It doesn't matter what they do. At the end of the day, if they market their crafts well, they put Ghana on the map. And Ghana is our home. That is where we reside. And every benefit that we reap from this artist, it will come down to us the same way. Thank you very much, Jixie, for the time and your insightful input on this very session right here. Guys, this is episode 1. Episode 2 will follow. And you can tell me who you want to see next on this podcast. My name is Mordin. I don't even have a name for the podcast, but I think we'll name it Podcast with Mordin. Yeah?
Thanks,
Or the
Martin.
Mordin podcast. Maybe. Something like that. And then we see how it goes. But hey, my name will always remain Mordin. And here on this channel, it's always about positivity. If anybody comes to you with a negative vibe, turn around with a smile and say, peace out.